showtime.
It's about that time.
Let's go.
You're right where you need to be. This is GCOM Radio.
Hardest radio station on the planet. Yeah.
Powered by Lyfeblood.com.
We certified.
And hosted by Nova Phoenix and LK Mason.
Give them that flavor. What it do?
It's GCOM Radio.
I am one of the flyers
on iHeartRadio.
You said that you really wanted, yeah. You said that you were ready for the real thing. You got it on text before this became a mess, but you seem to forget all the things you said to me. Now you're nothing but another song in my catalog. Thought you were about to be it. Guess I was wrong, you're a pipe dream. No more of my time will be wasting. Say what you mean. If you're saying it to me, just explain it to me, baby. How the fuck you change your mind overnight? Listen, let me tell you why you sing. Oh, cause you just don't know a good thing when it's looking in your face. I can see you talking about you in a relationship when you know that you really ain't got what it takes. That's why you sing. Oh, might be cute but you confused. If you keep on lying to yourself you're gonna lose. And I'm single, yes I'm single, cause I keep on falling for somebody like you. You said that you really want it. Oh, you said that you were ready for the real thing. When you hit the DM, liked what you were saying, plans for the PM. Then you text me in the AM, talking bullshit, so many excuses, whole bunch of lies, and I'm about to fucking prove it. Said you was way too sick for us to hook up, but then I see you up in the club. Say what you mean. If you're saying it to me, just explain it to me, baby. How the fuck you change your mind overnight? Can I tell you why you sing? Oh, just don't know a good thing.
Listen up.
You're listening to GCOM Radio.
Talking about you in a relationship when you know that you really ain't got what it takes. That's why you sing. Oh, might be cute but you confused. If you keep on lying to yourself you're gonna lose. And I'm single, cause I keep on falling for somebody like you. I'm over wasting time, and I got all this love to give, baby. I'm not gonna put myself within your hands, because there's something you don't understand. I'm a cash, help you secure the bag. Guess I know how to dress, best sex you ever had. Guess I should let it go, but if you don't know, can I tell you why you're single? Just don't know a thing when it's looking in your face. I can see you talking about you in a relationship when you know that you really ain't got what it takes. That's why you sing. Might be cute but you confused. If you keep on lying to yourself you're gonna lose. And I'm single, yes I'm single, cause I keep on falling for somebody like you. You said that you really wanted, yeah. You said that you were ready for the real thing. Got it on text before this became a mess, but you seem to forget all the things you said to me.
What is going on? We are in for another episode of GCOM Radio. This is your host, Nova Phoenix, with the lovely lady beside me, LK Mason. What up, LK?
What's up? What's goody?
Chilling. You just heard the song Jermaine Riley out of UK with Single. He's dropping his EP this week, I believe. Matter of fact, not even this week. I think it's going to be later on in a couple weeks. But that's a dope single that he's got out called Single, and we played it last week. But we're just playing it again to help support this brother coming through. So yeah, so how's your week been going, man? You lay low, you were out and you were sick and everything like that. How you feeling?
Yo, I'm not even gonna get into the details, but it was a rough week. Like, I was dog sick, man. But whoa. I was listening to you, speak about my man there. from the UK, and I'm thinking, yo, that's what's up, because I get a lot of love from the UK for Zayn the Brave. So hey,
That's
shout
what's
out
up.
to the UK.
Yeah, man, that's what's up. They doing their thing over there with the R&B. I don't know why there's more music that we don't like play from the UK. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
When it comes to R&B and hip hop, they'll say, "Oh no, we do play artists from there." I'm like, no, not really. No, not really.
Really.
Not really. We don't. We kind of like hoggish when it comes to pop music, which is like R&B and hip hop right now. We don't play a lot of other artists from other countries. And we got to fix that. You know what I mean? Just like how rock music had their kind of like their UK, their British invasion when the rock period was happening hard, and we had a lot of different UK artists on the rock side. But now, you know, hip hop is and R&B pretty much is pop music of the day. We don't have that same influx of UK artists coming from that side, but that's gonna change up, man. That's gonna change up like quickly. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad you're feeling top notch, bigger, faster, stronger. You know what I mean? Could take on the world, and
then some.
And then some. And then it was also Easter weekend, so you had family in, right?
Yes, we had family, good food, and it seemed like not just family, just people from like my childhood that I hadn't seen in years just stopping by because they're like, hey, I'm in town. I said I have to stop by because I need to get my book. I'm like, what? So much love for Zayn the Brave. I'm loving
That's
it.
what's up.
Yes.
I see the pictures of the kids, man. That's yeah, I'm like, wow, that's great. I think that's a fantastic
Aren't they so
thing.
cute? I keep trying to tell everyone, when you get the book, please take a picture of your child so we can share it. They are so adorable.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Anybody with their kids, man. It's a beautiful thing that, you know, that you're connecting the message, and, you know, seeing them smile to the little kids is beautiful, man. It's precious.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So now we back on the road, man. We back on the road. I just saw, what do you call it? Endgame, Avengers Endgame. Oh man, I saw a 12 o'clock showing.
Don't you get no spoilers, man.
Saturday. I'm not giving no spoilers, but let me just say, everybody has got to go see this movie, man. If you've been watching Marvel,
I just don't want to be in the theater for 3. I love all of the Avengers. I watch them. I think I just watched another one the other day, and I watched Iron Man, all of Iron Man. But and I think I watched X-Men too. I'm such a tomboy. I love it, but I don't want to be up in the theater for 3 hours, dude. I just
it don't seem like 3 hours. I'm telling you, I was in there. Of course, I was with my wife and my kid, and my kids. I'm telling you. You will not notice the 3 hours blow by. It's almost like a Thanos finger snap. You were like, huh? What? That was 3 hours? You don't notice it because it's so jam-packed with the characters and with the story arcs and how they each play with each other and how they relate to. I'm telling you.
Oh, you got me like
a beautiful story. Yo, let me tell you something. I was gonna see it next week, this weekend coming up, but there was, we're internet people, so I'm like, I'm deathly afraid I'm gonna see a spoiler. It's gonna ruin the whole experience. So we just got tickets to go see it, and it was total fluke. And I guess the theater added a show at a 12 o'clock showing. We saw it 12 o'clock at night, and it was what's up, man.
It's all that, man. I know my brothers went to see it, and they haven't breathed a word about it to me because they know that I want to see it. But, I just don't want to sit there 3 hours.
I hear you. And if you could wait, that's great. And if you don't mind little spoilers along the way, you know, whenever you will see it. But, yeah, it was...
No, let me tell you... I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say it.
Oh, he's going to say a spoiler?
No, I wasn't going to say a spoiler. I was going to say in situations like this.
Okay, all right.
I purchased a ticket.
Yeah, no. You what?
I do purchase a ticket. I always purchase a ticket because, especially if it's like, if there's actors and actresses that I really, really love, but I just can't get there to see their movie, I will purchase a ticket just so I can support, because I know how important it is for that first weekend or that first week of sales is very important. So I always do purchase tickets, whether or not I use it, or sometimes I'll give it away, or whatever. I'll do that.
That's what's up. That's a very
you
nice
know, and then
gesture.
if somebody happened to have it on bootleg, then I'll feel guilty.
Then you don't feel guilty.
Because I did buy a ticket or two.
You be go, let me get that bootleg right quick.
You go get that. I'm sorry, no, I don't, y'all. I'll do that. Yes, I do. I'm so sorry.
But hey, you bought the ticket, right?
I do absolutely buy the tickets, and most of the time I'll give it away because I haven't been to the movies in like a long time because, you know, with my illness and whatever, I don't do a whole lot of getting out. So I do absolutely support, you know, different actors and actresses that I just love. You know, because I used to support them all the time when I was able to get out. I used to go to the movies all the time.
Right. I think all the actors did a fantastic job. Everybody did a fantastic job. I mean, not even just the actors, the crew, the director.
Oh, I'm so mad.
It was beautiful, man. Big shout out to Kevin Feige for really doing this right for the last 10 years and to how it crescendoed. Hats off to everyone, man. That's what's up. Yeah, man. So
I think we just did a whole segment, didn't we?
Almost, right? Yeah, we going to. The first segment was going to be about like a Lyfeblood part 2 from last week on how we could apply Lyfeblood to what happens around the world. And it won't be as long as the first one, so it's going to be short. This is based on an article that I read about Germany, more so BMW having issues with their car batteries. Car companies are already building rival EVs to Tesla, such as Mercedes and Volkswagen. Of course, as I said, BMW. But in BMW's case, they just can't seem to be motivated to build a fully functioning electric battery. Most battery cells are supplied by China, Korea, Japan. It's something that Germany is not too crazy about. In 2015, in Daimler, they created an electric battery to bring on more partners to really kickstart the operation. Excuse me, not even operation, the production of electric batteries. And one of the partners they were trying to bring on was BMW, but BMW wasn't going for it, and because they felt like, you know, we don't have electric vehicles, so why would we even invest in electric batteries? So that tanked. And then BMW has suppliers called Bosch and Continental, and they weren't confident about the battery cell production for the BMW car company, so they didn't even bother with it. And with all that being said, Elon Musk, and knowing that all this is going on in Germany, was like, you know what, guys, I'll build a gigafactory in Germany, being that you guys are having problems. He's our today's Tony Stark, and trust me, it's gonna get done. If he could do SpaceX, if he can get started on the Hyperloop, he can build a gigafactory in Germany. I know that guy's gonna do it. So how Lyfeblood ties into BMW? Well, think of it like this. Think of the engineers that are frustrated within BMW and other car companies because they can't just get this started. They start an agency independently of themselves, whatever you want to call it, agency, organization, or an R&D a company or something or other, and they started on Lyfeblood. They start a profile. And they talk about what they're doing, the EV project that they're working on, and they start developing their network, their Lyfeblood network on their profile on Lyfeblood.com. And they could talk about three different things that this agency is going to do as part of having a profile on Lyfeblood.com. They're going to have transparency, open communication with all the followers that they're going to build up with. Say, you know, they're going to put out design, pictures, daily pictures. They're going to do video, all these things, just like how anyone would typically have a profile, but they are directly relating it to the electric battery that they're trying to get, you know, up and going. The other number two thing they're going to have as part of this agency is a sharing budget status. They're going to do progress reports on, you know, the money that they are getting from their followers. It's going to be on a schedule listing, whether it's quarterly, weekly, monthly, whatever they feel that they're most comfortable with, to share with their followers, so they can show that this is the amount of money that they're getting. This is where the money is going as far as a part of their R&D, their research and development, and just to see the progress. So if they have 50,000 people that are giving them a certain amount of monies, they are going to want to make sure these people that are giving them money are comfortable in saying, oh, that's where our money is going. Third, it's going to be nonpartisan and goal oriented. And it's important that happens because you're saying, well, why are you even mentioning nonpartisan for an engineering company trying to develop a next EV battery? Well, because I say that for any agency or organization that creates a profile on Lyfeblood.com. I strictly stress it being nonpartisan. It's not Republican, it's not Democrat. If it's from the United States, I know there are different names for different political parties around the world, but we want to stay as nonpartisan as possible because it's about giving to the people something that's going to benefit the people, and that has nothing to do with any political affiliation. This is giving something that benefits the world and that the world needs, whether it's an electric battery, whether it's run by water, whether it's a hydrogen battery, whatever the case may be within this particular argument. And I stress that. And the other key thing is there are things called think rooms, and it's kind of like chat rooms, but they're specialized within the field, whether it's microbiology, whether it's engineering, from whatever discipline. And people can enter this room, and in particular, this agency can enter this room. They can talk with different people about a myriad of different things related to the EV battery that they're doing, talk about design, talk about the future, what was done wrong in the past, problems that they're coming up on, and various things. If there's anything that is proprietary or anything that is secret, they could just have people join them on their page and talk to them there if they don't want to make it a group thing, and come to their profile and really trade information of that sort. But what we want to do is keep it open source. The same thing how Elon Musk wanted to do with the Tesla vehicle, and he made the design and the technology open source because in case Tesla failed and it didn't make it for whatever reason, he wanted to make this information available to people so they can say, hey man, I failed, maybe you can do better than me. Here it is. This is not about me. This is not about Elon Musk. This is about getting this technology to the people, and it's important. It's more than me, and that's what Lyfeblood is about. It's more than Lyfeblood. It's about creating an infrastructure. That's what Lyfeblood is doing for the people, for a space for them to go to, and not just talk about the issues that they're having and how should I say, the blockage that they're getting from the traditional channels, in this case BMW or any other automaker, and then at least they can take their frustration and their angst and they can channel it into Lyfeblood.com and get people together and say, hey, this is what we're going to do, and letting people know, and the people could come to them. And if you're from BMW and you're a famous engineer or a high exec, you can get this people. If you campaign it right, you could get 25,000 people, 30,000 people, 30,000 people, 50,000 people, each donate them $5 a month to you or to your agency, so we can make sure that we get an electric battery that's highly efficient, that's not done from any other individual. And then you don't have to go to a large organization to help fund you. It's all going to come from the global network. Now, if this is campaigned right, forget it about being 50,000. You can get 1 million people to say this is necessary, and people are funneling that money into your R&D project for an electric battery. So that is what Lyfeblood, or that is how Lyfeblood can help people that are having issues within BMW with electric car batteries within any company when it comes to technology, how they can apply it to Lyfeblood.com and how it can benefit them as individuals and how it can benefit humanity. All right, so this next song is by this dude. I'm telling you, this cat, Ricardo Williams, off the chain. I was having a hard time. He finally sent me his EP and stuff like that. I think I'm gonna plug in this EP video piece of his album. His EP is dropping this week. So the name of the EP, my God, I should have put this down for people to go. It's called Intermission. The name of his EP is called Intermission. And this guy, I'm telling you, this guy's off the chain coming out of UK. And I was having a hard time picking a song. But this song right here, I finally made a decision. I picked this song because he beats up this track something hard. This dude. The song's called He Ain't Me, man. He Ain't Me. I'm telling you, when you hear this, badass, this dude. He ready. So, yo, let's listen to it. He Ain't Me.
Is it your smile? Is it the way you dress? Oh, you got me going wild. You got my heart beating out my chest. Yeah. You telling me it broke your heart, baby girl, it's not my plan. Cause I will love you better. I can love you better than he can. Cause you deserve to be treated like you're number one. I'm not here for the games, I'm telling you, baby. See, I don't wanna waste time, cause when I'm with you, feels right. Superman, I can be the one to save you. Let me upgrade you. I will love you better, I will love you better. Better than him. I will treat you better, I will treat you better. Better than him. So give me your loving and your time. I promise that I will treat you right. You can search the world, you will not find another love like that. Oh no, he ain't me. Oh, he ain't me.
A GCOM exclusive.
Is it those thighs? Is it the way you walk? You told me that he messed you around. Told me that he played you for a fool. See, I will never hurt you, and I will never mistreat you. Cause you deserve to be treated like the only one. You're in my lane, I'm telling you, baby. So baby, make up your mind. Roll with the boss and just get right. Superman, I can be the one to save you. Let me upgrade you. I will love you better, I will love you better. Better than him. I will treat you better, I will treat you better. Better than him. So give me your loving and your time.
GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com. Come join, be a lifer. Practice dollar power and build financial independence.
Yes, we have returned. We just heard this bomb-ass brother from the UK, Ricardo Williams, with He Ain't Me. You heard that? You heard them riffs? My man was flexing them vocals. Flexing. Man, it's tough. It's tough.
You fanboying.
What? I was saying, I got to support the brother. When I hear real good music,
He fanboy, y'all.
Hey, man. Look, I love live music, man. I love live music. And when I hear, and I know that dude with the vocal range that he has and the strength, if he get on and do live with his band behind him, yo, I'm telling you, I love. Back in the day, everybody knows when I was coming in NYC, I'd rather do a live show than just listen to a studio album. I'll buy the album and I'll put it to the side. Yeah. Okay, when I really detest is when you go live and see how well you do. That even includes rappers too, man. Because a lot of times these rappers is silly. Man, the one thing I can't stand, I don't know if you know this, live, rappers that be rapping over their own recorded vocals. Yo, what the hell are you doing? I understand. Why are you rapping over your own recorded vocals?
You know, in case they run out of breath, you still get the words or something, maybe. I don't know.
Have you ever seen that before online?
I have seen that before. I've seen a lot of people do that and they try to play it off, you know, so you don't see that they're not really rapping, but you know it.
Nah, these cats is rapping, like shouting over their own vocals. Like, if that's the case, why you got your vocals on the track? When you doing live, people want to hear you. They don't. If that's the case, they can hear your album that you put out on iTunes. They ain't coming for that. They come to see a live show to see you rocking out.
Well, no, I was great. I didn't remember this. I was going to say, I don't think I've ever been to a rap concert, but yes, I have. Okay. But that was years ago. That was like Dougie Fresh and whatchamacallit now, Kwame. Yeah, that was back in the day.
Back in the day. Dope artists that can rock a live show is Method Man. Method Man, Redman. Have you ever seen? I've never seen a live show of Method Man or Redman, but I've just seen what they could do online. Right? If I can't see it live, okay, let me see what they do online, and I can see how they be killing the stage. Two dope MCs, man, that knows how to connect with their crowd. I don't like the cats that just.
I'm not a big concert like I have to really, really like you for me to go to the concert. I can like count on both hands how many concerts I've ever gone to. You know, like if they have like jazz festivals and stuff like that. You know, I remember going to see Gerald Levert and Karen White and all of them. Yeah, I remember going to see Michael Jackson, Usher. I went to see Usher a few times. Jill Scott and Maxwell. Man, I'm reaching. I can't really.
Yeah, but those are dope artists.
Yeah.
Those are dope artists.
Yeah.
You know what
yeah.
I mean? And rightfully so. I know. I've never been to. Keep it real. I've never been to what's the artist you just named? Erykah Badu concert. Did you just say? You said Erykah Badu, right?
No.
Okay.
No, I said Jill Scott.
Oh, Jill Scott. Okay. I've only seen Jill Scott once in concert, and that was for the.
She's amazing.
What was it? It was for, man. It's funny, right? As much live shows that I love going to, I haven't gone to a lot. Jill Scott, I know, is amazing, and but it's all good. It's all good. I when I see if I can't see it live, I'll see it on online or on TV, and I see how they rock. Oh, speaking of online on TV, did you see Beyonce's Lemonade joint?
No. Well, yeah, I saw Lemonade. What are you talking about? The new one? Though?
Yeah, it's on. It's not called Lemonade. It's called Homecoming on Netflix, and it was based on the Coachella performance.
I don't do Netflix. That's the thing. I'll be missing out now. I keep hearing stuff on Netflix. Everybody just.
Yeah, man, that Beyonce Coachella performance last year was banging, man. She was doing her thing. And that's what I'm talking about. Seeing it live.
I've always loved Beyonce, man. Always loved Beyonce. And people be like, oh, she ain't on that. I'm like, man, you just a hater.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Yeah. People told
I
me.
remember I used to be like, Beyonce is the female Usher for real because she's the whole package.
Right.
Like her concerts and everything because she can dance.
Right.
And it's just so much entertainment. It's not just somebody standing there singing. You know what I mean? And I love that too. If you have a beautiful voice, you can just stand there and sing. I don't even care about all the other stuff. But they're so exciting because they can dance, and I mean they can really dance.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And they utilize their whole stage and then some.
Yeah, great singers.
It's definitely worth it.
Who's that gospel singer? Oh man, I love. She could stand there like. What's her name?
Which one? Yolanda Adams?
Yeah. Oh my God, Yolanda Adams. Yo.
I know, right?
Man, let me tell you something. She just do gospel. If she could do a secular album, yo, let me tell you, out of this world.
I know, right?
Out of this world. She is
her song Victory.
Yeah.
That's one of my workout songs. I'm telling you. What? I get my stepping on. I works it out. Victory.
Yolanda Adams. What?
Yes.
Oh man, I love her.
Yes, her, Mary, Kirk Franklin.
Yeah, some songs, Kirk. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
I like Kirk Franklin.
I gets it in working out with them.
Kirk Franklin. Let me tell you, gospel singing is nothing more than multiplying your favorite gospel singer 20 times. And that's what you get when you have a chorus of some singers. You know what I mean? And you hear how they belting out. That's why even pop artists have always used gospel choirs in the past. Because when you go to a black church, and you know where all I'm talking about, especially when the white singers go to the black gospel churches, and they got the right black choir. Man, listen, you ready to convert right then and there. I'm giving my life to Jesus.
Tears come rolling down their eyes. They get the clapping and yes.
Even if they was never religious before their life, man, listen. Yes. When I heard Yolanda Adams on that Barack Obama special, the Obama special, and they had even comment on the show with John Legend and all the greats. Yolanda Adams is on there, and she did this number. I'm like, I'm ready to convert.
Beautiful voice. That's what I love about her is that she doesn't. I love gospel music, but I don't like the gospel music when they just do all that screaming and shouting or whatever. I want to hear your vocal ability. I don't want you to just be screaming. Like Fantasia grew up in church, right? Yeah. Fantasia has a beautiful voice, but even in singing her secular music, she'll revert to her gospel voice when she get to that yelling. Yeah. And I can't listen no more. You know what I mean? Because I think it just, my ears like tune out.
What?
Like,
so you don't like the riffing?
Hear your voice.
You don't like the riffing? Like,
I don't like that. Like, I don't mind if you feeling it and you do it here and there, but if it's constant, like it just sounds like a bunch of yelling to me, and I got to go. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about that. Like it sound like they're screaming. I'm like, I got to turn it. I can't.
You're like, listen, you get carried away. Yo, calm down, bring it back down. Bring it, harmonize. And
I noticed that when she's singing secular music and she'll revert to that because she grew up in church and that's what they like you to do, I guess. You know, when in my church, I don't remember a whole lot of people. And I grew up in the Baptist church. I don't remember all that yelling like that. Like we sang and then we might get into it and we a little bit more, but I don't remember people like screaming. Like,
No?
I don't remember people screaming.
Let me tell you something. When I went to church, all right, I grew up Christian. All right, I went to a Catholic school. All right, so I used to go to Sunday church. I went to a white church. All right. I never been to a black church until probably 5 to 8 years ago. All right, something like 35, something like that. And it was totally different. Yeah. In a white church, they just the priest come or when the monsignor whatever open the book. He said, okay, the passages. And for God is, and they'll read the passage. And okay, everybody, we're gonna sing Hail Marys, 12 Hail Marys, and it gets very robotic. It's very like scriptured, and then it lasts for what? How long is mass? An hour tops? Yeah. Mass is, well, in this case, it's an hour tops, right? Mm-hmm. So when I went to the black church, it's the singing is a part of the mass. It's a part of the whole what's the word? Itinerary. It's singing at the beginning, in the middle, at the end. The priest come, even the priest get in on it. I'm like, he be bearing his soul to his audience. Oh, to it, what do you call it? What do you call it? Not the audience. Congregation. Bearing. And he be giving it, okay, we're gonna have Sister Jones come in and lead the choir. And they getting to lead the choir, and you can hear this. I'm like, damn, it makes you, I'm telling you, man.
You get up and clapping and shouting and dancing, yes.
Shouting and dancing. And then the other part of it is, which was my first experience, was people catching the spirit during the singing. I've never experienced that. I've seen it on TV, but actually being there, and I saw it, everybody's going and they dancing, and then the woman in the front, she caught it, but everybody was silent. Everybody, I don't know, in this particular time, I don't know how it is on every other Sunday, but this particular time, people was just like, okay, this is what happens. And they were silent, and the woman was speaking in tongues, and she was like, and she was going in, and she calmed down. And that went on for like 10 minutes. And then she calmed down. And then it happened again.
There are some local gospel artists that, as a matter of fact, we were supposed to have her on the show the one time, Tara Elkins. The girl can sing. And every time she sings, I kid you not, I cry.
What?
Every single time. Yes. I can't think of a time, except for when we were in like the recording studio and she was singing secular music. I didn't cry then. I used to go to the studio with her, and I used to try to help coach her out of, because she's recording secular music, but she was, referring back to that gospel sound or whatever. But when she was singing for that, I didn't cry. But every time she would sing a gospel song, she sings with so much passion, with so much heart. You just feel every single note. And every single time I cry.
And then the crowd be getting into it. They just like, they go with it. That's not like how I grew up.
Yes, that's how I grew up. What? Well, not a whole lot of people could sing like Tara Elkins in our church. We have some people that got up there and tried to sing.
Right, like, oh Lord, now, oh Lord, listen, hurry this up so we can get back to Pastor Johnson. Oh Lord, who told her she could sing?
And then you be sitting there like, oh Lord, please forgive me. I'm sitting up in church sinning, because you be like, oh, please let this be over any minute now. Please let this be done. And then you're like, oh God, please forgive me. Please forgive me.
Come on now, baby. Come on, sit down now. You know you can't sing.
And then you have the people, you're trying to behave. And then you have the people that's like, you hear them laughing. So then you're like, you try not to laugh, and you start to get the water welling up in your eyes. And then you have to put your finger up and tiptoe out to the bathroom, because you don't want to be rude, be laughing up in the.
Listen, I got to go.
You don't want to be laughing in sanctuary. You're like, oh my goodness.
And then it's just like it's just a part of the. Let me tell you. And then the other thing I can understand, it be going on for hours.
Sometimes it can, and sometimes like the whole congregation just gets moved, and it's just like the song will keep going and going because everybody's joining in, and you're just feeling it, and there's no rush in that. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no, okay, we got to get to the time. Right. No, go ahead and feel it. Go ahead and serve the Lord. Sing a joyful noise. Some of you can't sing, but it's still a beautiful thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I hear you. Man, but what is it?
Not everybody can sing, but everybody can make a joyful noise. Everybody is able to praise the Lord. I don't care if you can sing or not.
Make the people that can do the joyful noise sit in the pews. Let the person that can really sing get up in the front on that mic. don't tell Beverly.
Yeah, let the ones who can really sing. You can get in the, anybody can join the choir. If you can harmonize, whatever, you can get in the choir. But don't be up there asking for a solo.
Okay, now, Auntie Beverly about to get up in there and she thinks she can hold a note. I'm like, hell nah.
Honey, and God bless us all with something. We're all important in some way. Singing is not your way.
Yes, I understand. It's not your God-given gift.
It's not.
All right.
It's not.
But what do you think about the a lot of even the singers just came from religious backgrounds. A lot of the R&B blues singers came from the church.
They have. That's how they were able to find their voice, because they were raised like that. Their parents were singers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Their parents sung and led the choir, or was the choir director, or you know what I mean? Or was like their lead singer all the time. And that's how they, learned their harmony and stuff. The Braxton sisters.
Right.
They sound amazing together.
Right. Amazing. Right.
Amazing. And that's because they've been singing together their whole lives. You know what I mean?
Okay, as far as gospel music concerned, all right. Look, if you want praise Jesus, I'm with that. But in the business of music, as we all know, can be seedy and crazy and conniving. It's a very shady business, all right? Mm-hmm. And in the business of gospel music, on the front, singers can praise Jesus in all of his righteousness, but then still operate under the same shady business that the music business is known to have.
Your business doesn't have to be shady. Even in the secular industry, you don't have to be shady. It's all about who you're dealing with, who you're conducting business with. It doesn't have to be shady. I don't think there's anything shady about the music business. It's the people. It's not the business. It's the people.
Which makes it shady.
The people are shady, and you just can determine who you're going to do business with. And I think people who are in the gospel industry tend to be more God-driven and tend to have a little bit or use their discernment a little bit better and won't tolerate certain things. They're like, no, I'm not going to do this, that, and other. I don't like the way this person moved. We are not working with them. I don't know if you've ever watched, Mary Mary's show, but I love the way they conducted, their business or whatever. Like, they were down for nothing, and God was always first. And they pray over everything or whatever, and they made their decision based on their beliefs and their love and service of God. And I believe that's how a lot of people may do. I remember watching that one show, what is it called? It wasn't about music, but it was about, and they cut that show. I don't know why. I thought it was good. They were doing the behind the scenes of pastors. Now, I think a lot of pastors didn't like that because they don't like people seeing that pastors are actually human. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They don't like people seeing the flaws of the pastors or whatever. You're human. You have flaws. You know what I'm saying? You get up there and preach things and tell everybody, a lot of them will try to act a little bit holier than thou, like they don't sin. And I like the ones that do come out and say, hey, I've done this, I've done that, I'm human, we this and that and other, this is how we move on. You know what I mean? So yeah, there were a lot of pastors who were against that, and I don't know if maybe that's why the show was canceled, but I like the show.
Let me tell you something.
Like, yeah.
But that's the imagery of what pastors are like. They're treated as if they're a direct messenger of God that came down to give the word, and they just know more than human beings that have their
because
flaws.
Not all of them were called. There's a difference between someone who was ordained and called and then somebody who's up there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, some people were called to preach.
There's a lot of
trifling
pastors. There's a lot of trifling pastors.
Why do you have to be trifling pastors?
I'm saying be real. There's some good pastors and there's some trifling pastors. Like when pastor me, I won't even call them pastors. I'll call them the televangelists. All right. Where, who was that pastor asked for their congregation to donations for his own plane? Creflo Dollar? Was it Creflo?
I don't know him,
man.
But I remember that name sounds familiar.
Creflo Dollar. It was one of them crazy televangelists. Wow. He actually had the gall to ask his congregation to put money in so he can fly privately from place to place. And he was like, people put him to test with that. He was like, what's the problem? I can't preach the word. He said something crazy. I was like, Lord, for real? This what we doing? Listen, I'm not saying all pastors, but there are some, and I just put them to question. All right, next song that we got, we're gonna get out of here. All right, so we're gonna switch up a little bit, and we got some pop songs that we're gonna put in there, man. We got some other people pop. So this artist that liked one of my posts on IG, her name is Seersha. I didn't bother to ask, but she's mixed, right? So she's Scottish, Irish, or something like that, and Japanese, I think. But her name is Seersha, which is a Scottish Irish name. So her song is called, she's along the indie pop genre, the way she creates her own music. Her song is called Typical. This is different from what we usually give, and we do want to play some other music on the show, which we have talked about before. So just check out this artist. Her name is Seersha. The song is Typical.
It's GCOM Radio.
I am one of the flyers
on iHeartRadio. Man, check this out. We're going in with another one.
It's on
GCOM Radio.
I stay so woke, won't bend, I won't fold. Die for my wolves, but with death on my foes. I don't be talking, bitch, that's a fact. Niggas won't ask you, you know where I'm at. I feel the pressure, the weight on my back. These niggas are phony, they all about the cap. They really not bad it, it's all for the raps. They really not G swear these pussy gon' rat. Really about money, I'm after the stacks. Just tell me the way and I'll follow the map. I run to the money like this is a track. I love it when haters gon' tell me I can't. I go and get it and never look back. Fuck what you said, I go beast mode attack. Versus I spit so dope, bitch, I spit crack. Versus I spit so true, bitch, I spit facts. I keep it 100, I came from the trap. I opened up shop and went straight to the bag. I just so bad, when I won't fold. Die for my wolves, but with death on my fold. I ride for my people, my amigos, my bros. I came from the bottom, climbed out of the hole. I swear these haters, they love me the most. I swear these haters, they love me, they love me. I swear these haters, they love me the most. I swear these haters, they love me, they love me. Got 3 baby mamas, don't know how to act. They said, why won't you change? I said, bitch, cause I can't. I'm stuck in my way, this is my fate. Shout out to my brothers, locked down by the state. And it's love for my people that's fighting the case. Look, keep your head up and don't lose your weight. I die for my wolves and I kill for my babies. This shit could get crazy, but this shit don't faze me. My bitches are bad and my life is amazing. Watch out for these snakes or these fakes can get shady. My flow is ridiculous, sickness like rabies. They won't ride my wave, then they gon' have to pay me. I'll shoot you in Walmart, just call me the baby. I'm really that Migo, these people just hating. I go super hard, bitch, I go super saiyan. The fuck is you talking about, fuck is you saying? I just so woke, on bend I won't fold. Die for my wolves, but with death on my fold. I ride for my people, my amigos, my bros. I came from the bottom, climbed out of the hole. I swear these haters, they love me the most. I swear these haters, they love me, they love me. I swear these haters, they love me the most. I swear these haters, they love me, they love me.
Okay, man, we are back. We just heard Seersha, Typical, and it's a great indie pop sound. I'm loving it. And also to follow up right after Seersha was Anthony King, Love Me the Most. We kind of switch up the format sometimes. We leave the third song at the end of the show, but sometimes we'll just butt it up right next to the song coming after the second segment so people can hear this music. So yeah, man, so we're gonna just get into the next segment, but before we get into the final segment, we're gonna start with the news you need to know. Okay, let's get going. What's going on with news?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Around the world and right in your neighborhood, it's the news you need to know.
The world's waves are getting bigger. According to Ian Young and Augustinus Ribal from the University of Melbourne, extreme winds and wave heights are getting bigger. Winds have increased by 1.5 meters, 3.3 miles per hour, or 8%, and waves 30 centimeters, or 5% in the last 30 years. The data was recorded by 31 different satellites between 1985 to 2018. The data was compared to 80 ocean buoys positioned around the world, making it the largest and most detailed data recording of its type ever compiled. It may not seem like much, but if trends continue, it can create increasing coastal erosion, put coastal cities and infrastructure at a serious risk. The researchers are trying to determine how much is long-term climate change or natural environmental fluctuations, or in this case, cycles. And other related news, global CO2 emissions hit record high last year. Even with several calls from various agencies and organizations to reduce global emissions of CO2, the top economies continue to chug out damaging energy-related carbon dioxide out into the atmosphere. Emissions have gone up 1.7% since last year. US, China, and India are the culprits. Coal, especially in Asia, played a big part in it. According to data, the United States pumps out twice as much carbon dioxide per capita as China and 9 times more than India. Remember the Paris Climate Agreement to bring down global temperatures to 1.5 degrees Celsius? Well, based on these numbers, it might as well be just a midnight dream to us all. And that is the news you need to know. Okay. Next topic.
I really needed to know that.
Say again?
I really needed to know that too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, man, because it's important. I mean, a lot of times we talk about the environment, what we're gonna do in the Paris. I remember that whole thing with Trump and the Paris Agreement, and it was supposed to be the climate agreement was supposed to be a bunch of countries getting together that all agreed and were coming on to one page in agreement. I have to say agreement. I have to keep on saying the word agreement that, yeah, we are all messing up the world and let's try to reduce our carbon emissions, CO2 emissions. And people talk a game, and then they say, yeah, we're gonna do this, and then next thing you know, keep the system running. We making money, and we double talking. All the countries, U.S., everybody's double talking, and if we are not careful, there are going to be serious consequences to this in 5-10 years. And it's happening. You see with the animals, all these animals, there's a whole list of articles of sea life washing up on beaches with whales, squid, frogs, fish. Like, it's almost biblical in a sense when it comes to, Moses and the Pharaoh in Egypt. It's almost biblical because that was one of the plagues. And it's like you see it living out its life today because we're not paying attention. There is a Pharaoh. You know who the Pharaoh is? The President of the United States. And he's a current Pharaoh. You know what I mean? And I'm not just saying specifying one person like Trump. I'm saying it's something that it goes across party lines and across who's a Democrat or Republican taking office. And it's just not the United States, but other pharaohs, other countries where nature is saying, listen, you messing up. I'm telling you, you gotta chill. I'm telling you to chill. And we're arrogant, and we think we own the earth. And because we're making money, base things are frivolous and don't make a difference in the grand scheme of things in human life, we want to make more of, and we're stuck on greed. And that's essentially what the Pharaoh in biblical times of Moses was about. He's about using the Israelites as slaves in order to make his kingdom greater. And what did Moses say? Yo, let my people go. I'm telling you, this is what's gonna go down. I'm just a messenger. I ain't got him, just a messenger. And I think God in itself is playing out in nature. And nature is saying, listen, you gotta chill. This is what's gonna happen. And it's happening. And one definite, as far as New York is concerned, where we got a good glimpse of that was Hurricane Sandy. That was unheard of storms hitting New York. Unheard of. It came out of nowhere. It crippled the city. Not even in the sense of the what's that movie called? The day after tomorrow or something like that. And where you have, these, Hollywood type, weather conditions happening, freezing over in 10 seconds. I'm talking about, we had a little, we had some damage, but I'm talking about, it crippled the gas stations. Nobody could get gas, tunnels that were right by the coast or sort of by Lower Manhattan. The cars was flooded out, turned upside down in the tunnels. It definitely had a definite hit on the city, and the damage went into the billions. So we keep on going down this road. What's going to happen? We got San Francisco. We got Miami. Florida's been getting hit with hurricanes. Hit. That major damage that hit the coast in what do you call it? The Gulf of Mexico, by Louisiana, by New Orleans. And they had 2 or 3 hurricanes and hit Florida, and not as bad as the last storm. What was that storm that hit New Orleans at the time? And it flooded out and the levees broke. And Spike Lee came out with that. I forgot the name of that storm, but not that storm.
Oh yeah. Oh shoot.
Not that storm, but there was another one, and it hit. I can't think of it either. Let me see right quick, because when I get to going, when the levees broke, that was New Orleans, Louisiana, the devastated Hurricane Katrina. There you go. That was Hurricane Katrina, devastated New Orleans. But it was after that. There was huge storms that was hitting Florida, and then all of a sudden a third one or something like that popped up, or second or third one that popped up, and it hit a little bit of New Orleans. Not that bad, but there was definitely damage on the eastern coast of Florida, the western coast, and yeah, man. But we not paying attention, but it's biblical. Now look at what's gonna happen. Anyway, the third topic we can talk about is Bun B. So it came out that Bun B ran into a burglar in his home. So the burglar came to the door. He knocked on the door. His wife opened it. Her name is Queenie Freeman. And he shoved a gun in her face and grabbed up the wife and asked for jewels, like possessions. Bun B was upstairs. He heard the commotion, came down. The guy grabbed his wife. I was trying to pull the wife over to the car. And what happened? Bun B lick off shots, and the burglar got hit, and he arrested the dude. So it says Bun B grabbed the firearm, rushed downstairs, and fired several shots at Jackson. That was the assailant. While he was in their car, because he was trying to grab up the wife just to run to the car to get the car, I guess, or the getaway, or whatever. And Jackson fired back at Bun B, who was not harmed during the attack. Jackson suffered a gunshot wound to the shoulder and ran away. Bun B gave chase and forced Jackson to take the mask off of his face. The gunman eventually escaped and made it to Pearland Medical Center. Bun B was able to point out Jackson to police, who arrested him at the hospital. So big ups to Bun B. Glad his wife was safe and he was safe. But these are the things you got to deal with when I don't even know if the burglar knew who he was. I don't know. It doesn't really say that in the article, right. But it makes you think. Second Amendment.
Did you notice their major typo though? Like the first sentence.
It said Houston-based rapper Bun B shot at unarmed gunman. That's the first sentence. Yeah. Right. During a recent home invasion.
Right. You didn't pick up on that?
Oh, unarmed. Right. Unarmed. How you gonna be unarmed to shoot the dude?
Right. And I'm reading the rest of the thing. I'm like,
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Unarmed gunman.
Huh? Yeah, maybe that was a typo. Yeah. Bun B.
Yeah, it had to be a typo.
But yeah, that.
Because at first I was like, when I read unarmed, I was like, oh, he in trouble. He done shot somebody. Only the police can do that. Like, you can't be shooting people and they don't have no weapon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you not, if you somebody of color, you can't be shooting people and they're unarmed. But then as I started reading the rest of the article, I was like, oh, well, the person wasn't unarmed. What?
Yeah, it says. Yeah, it doesn't say if I see him rechecking out these other articles. So it kind of got around, man. It got around to a lot of different publications, online publications, and he was armed and demanded. Yeah, so the assailant was armed and demanded property. He attempted to rob. So he pointed. This is from People.com. People magazine. Mm-hmm. So she pointed him to the direction of the garage and told him to take the car. Bun B was upstairs and heard the commotion. He comes downstairs with a gun and confronts the intruder in the garage. The intruder is inside their vehicle. The intruder suspect and Bun B exchange gunfire. The suspect flees on foot. So yeah, man. So these things happen whether you're a celebrity or not. And it brings a question, the right to bear arms, man. The thing is, in New York, it's very hard. In New York, I've spoken to a couple cops about this. They say that if you have a burglar that's coming into your home and is aggressive towards you and approaches you, whether he's armed or in an aggressive manner, I'm not sure unarmed, but say he comes, unarmed or armed in an aggressive manner, you can shoot back, and you are within your legal right to defend yourself. And if it's in your home, is the burglar, if the burglar is leaving your home and he's running on your lawn trying to get away, and you shoot at the burglar, you can be arrested for illegal use of a weapon. So the person has robbed you, but you cannot shoot at him or striking the burglar. You can get arrested if you do that.
I thought.
In New York now. This is New York.
That's New York. It depends on the state. I was just going to say that, yeah.
So. Because
in some states, unless, if he has, I can't remember, I want to say it's in Ohio, if he's robbing you for something worth more than, the number I'm going to throw out there because I can't remember what the number is. If it's worth more than $2,000, you can shoot him. You know what I mean? Not shoot to kill, but you can shoot them. But you know, you can't just go shooting somebody and they breaking in. I don't care if you do see them climbing in your window. You can't shoot at them. You know what I mean?
But they climbing in your window.
They climbing in your window. You cannot shoot at them. Hey, what you doing? Get up out of here. And then, of course, self-defense, they try to come at you. You do what you got to do. So it's
Ohio law.
But as long as they not coming at you or whatever, they allowed to come up in your house. You're not allowed to shoot them.
So this Ohio law? This Ohio law?
I think it's Ohio law. I saw it somewhere. And because somebody got in trouble for shooting somebody who was breaking in their home.
Say word.
Yeah.
See, sometimes I can't understand these laws, man. Because especially in New York, because it's hard enough to get a weapon in there. I mean, I'm going through the process right now, and it's like literally like you entering into the Men in Black. Like the levels of security checks that they do in order for you to be a gun owner in New York is damn near ridiculous. You know what I mean? You have to
for you to
be a legal gun owner. Sign the paperwork, submit it to the NYPD, to the main headquarters, and you have to wait 3 months for them to go through the process, background check. It's ridiculous. But as opposed to down south, you could walk into the Walmart and pick up a pistol. You know what I mean? With no problems. Right next to your squirt guns and basketballs and sports stuff. Like, word, for real? Okay, all right, let me get a box of cereal. I got to get a football for my kid. I'm going to pick up this double barrel shotty and some cartridges to go. All right, I'm ready to go. It's like crazy. It's like, you know what I mean? So the question is, it's been also an ongoing topic, the right to bear arms. Now, what do you think about that?
I'm kind of mixed about it. I that's not something that I feel strongly either way about. I think for me it's a situational type thing where I feel like, yeah, we should be able to have the right to bear arms, and then there's another one where I'm like, man, you can't control who gets their hand on it, and people are getting innocently being shot, children are getting a hold of the parents' stuff, and yeah, so I don't really have a strong opinion either way on whether or not you should have a right to, and whether or not you should, go down for protecting your home. I don't think you should. First of all, you're probably scared so straight that you don't even know what you're doing. Let me tell you, prime example. I was at home, or so I thought I was home by myself. I'm in the restroom, and I'm, washing my hands at the sink. La-di-da-di-da, whatever. I'm going out the bathroom door. We have a bathroom door that adjoins to our kitchen. And I'm heading out the bathroom door, getting ready to go into the kitchen. And I'm, lollygagging, drying off my hands or whatever, not really paying attention. And I don't hear anything. I think I was actually singing something too. And my brother comes and says, "Ah!" And I literally did not know who I was. I was swinging on, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who he was. I was swinging on my brother. He kept saying, "Tosh, Tosh, Tosh." And I wasn't recognizing that he was talking to me. Didn't recognize that was my name. You know what I mean?
Blacked out.
I'm just, it's fight or flight.
You was fighting in.
And I'm swinging. He's like, "Yo, it's me. He ducking and dodging. He opens the back door and he starts running. "It's me. And then it finally snapped. "Oh, shucks, that's my brother."
Stop playing.
It's my brother, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was like, "Yo," he said, "I'm never doing that again." He was never. He was like, "If you could have seen your face and you swinging on me like, yo," he said, "you were tearing me up." But it took a minute for me to snap out of it. He's like, "Tosh, Tosh," and I remember him saying Tosh, but it wasn't clicking in my head. My name is Tosh. He's talking to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. And so I can see how they say some people, what do they call it? Crime of passion or whatever, whatever it is.
They just black out.
Like, I can see how that could happen because I did not recognize him as my brother and I didn't even know who I was. I was just swinging.
So maybe you shouldn't be the one to bear arms. Cause it sound
you probably get shot up.
It sound like you want to empty the whole clip before you even stop. You're like, oh snap!
You come up in my house.
But I'm saying some people can, but I'm not saying gun owners are, Looney Tunes or can't get their bearings in a tight situation. But these are the risks that you play as a gun owner when somebody comes in your home. I know the cases where, same your situation, the brother or the uncle come home late and the person thinks it's a burglar and they accidentally shoot their family member because they think it's a burglar. So, those are the unfortunate stories. But I do believe people have a right to bear arms. All right, you have a right to protect your family. I've never had a situation
like that because if you don't live alone, that's what's hard for me to understand. Now, there's one thing about, I guess maybe they didn't hear them come in the door. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. If you're expecting somebody to come home late at night or whatever, I thought I was alone. I didn't know anybody was in the house. You know what I'm saying? And I'm right there. Our bathroom is right there by the back door. And we have like an alarm system to where it announces when somebody comes in the door. So it'll say back door is open, front door is open. You know what I mean? So I didn't hear that. So for him to just, you know what I'm saying? Scary like that. Oh, so that meant he was in the house the whole time and I just never knew it. Yeah, because I didn't hear either door. Like our alarm says, when someone opens the door, front door is open, back door open. You know what I mean?
So you're not the type of one to own a gun in those cases. That's not you. Huh? You're not the type to be a gun owner.
Oh no, I can own a gun.
Okay, you can own it. Okay, but in those situations,
But you don't want to scare me like that. You will get swung on.
Don't, or you might get a hot one in the leg or something like that, or worse.
Like you get swung on. I ain't gonna just shoot at nobody, but you get swung on.
But I think the only thing I do agree with people when they talk about gun ownership, I don't think semi-automatics should be, because you know why? Because there's too many cases of the masses getting shot up and 15, 20 people getting shot up.
You have no chance.
There's no chance. And it's sick people. There's sick people. The recent one that happened in New Zealand, I think, I made a post of that on my IG account where a guy went up to a mosque or Christ Church or something like that. It was a mosque and shot up with semi-automatic weapons. Let me tell you, I forgot the name of the prime minister, a lady, but she made this choice within a week. Nope, we banned them.
Yes.
We banned them. We taking them.
Yes.
So,
and she was giving people credits or whatever, money back for theirs or whatever. But if you kept your gun.
Right. So my thing is, listen, I'm all for responsible gun owners taking training. I think they should be no different from when you get your driver's license. Of course, the background, as much as I'm not in New York, I understand the background checks. But I don't think it should be so easy for you to get a weapon, walking into a Walmart and any Joe Schmo blow could just get it and just to get it. You know what I mean? I think, okay, 2 week background check or something like that, because again, we have too many cases of like 25, 30 people getting shot up and killed from semi-automatic weapons. Getting rid of even the accessories that come with semi-automatic weapons called like bump stocks. Bump stocks allows you to for a single shot weapon or an assault rifle, assault rifle to be changed into an automatic weapon, because the recoil makes the finger bounce on the trigger. So you get that repeat effect like an automatic weapon. So all those things, man, to me should be out of here. Big ups to Bun B, man. I encourage everybody to get gun training. I was down south and a dude was telling me, he was like, man, you northerners don't know what to do if zombie apocalypse happen or something happen, because you don't know, all you got is supermarkets and you open the robberies and anybody can break in your home. Down here it's just me by myself. And he basically was trying to say, he was like, yo, listen, the next neighbor is 5 miles away. You have no choice but to arm yourself, because you could call the cops, but it's going to take time for the cops to come down and protect you. So you going to wait for the cops to come down?
Dead in the risen again by the time the cops
floating in the river, floating in your lake, in your backyard lake. So I believe in gun ownership, defending your loved ones, your family, and all that. But the more extreme cases where you have a reoccurring these events happening with people dying, that we gotta nip that in the bud. But yeah, Bun B did his thing, and there was another dude right now that's on IG. I forgot this dude's name, but he's on IG all the time. He got on BET.com where he was talking what he teaches his daughters how to use a gun. I'm talking about military stuff.
I was just going to ask you about that. What you think about that? I've seen somebody with a 4-year-old daughter. She knows what she's doing. She know how to take
disassemble
it apart, put it back together,
eyes closed,
clean it, everything.
I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it because the more kids understand the danger and the seriousness of handguns and rifles and shotguns and all that, the more they will respect it and not mess around. Most of the child accidents that happen with guns is because the child did not know or did not take it serious on the lethalness, if that is a word, of weapons, and they were pointing at their friends or the brother, and all of a sudden the gun will accidentally go off. They were totally uneducated about how to handle a weapon. And when I see this dude, his name is Derek something. I think it's Derek something. Can't remember this guy's name. Dreads, got tats all over his face. He pretty much got famous, and he has this thing called financial literacy, doing a financial board game, and that's what's up. And he's making some headway with that. But he didn't really get famous off the financial literacy board game. He got famous off of the fact that he was posting him showing guns to his young kids, 6-7 years old, and they were dismantling the gun and reassembling it with their eyes, with blindfolds on. And, he's teaching them different information about, what it is about financial literacy. And as they are dismantling and reassembling the gun and shooting it, like, of course, without the bullets in it, like, pointing it and letting the hammer go. So everybody was like, oh my God, that was a big controversy. He was like, how could you, all the hard leftists is like, how could you teach your kid about that's just irresponsible? But he was like, nah, I'm not being irresponsible. I think I should teach my kid how to use a weapon as she comes up. It's better than them not knowing and then someone getting hurt, and I want them to be able to defend themselves. So he went viral off of that, to the point where BET recently covered him like 2-3 weeks ago about guns. Not even about financial literacy for African American people, but more so about the guns he was putting in his kids' hands. And I thought that was fantastic. I follow the guy. I'm big on him. You know what I mean? And I'm about responsibility of guns, man. You know what I mean? Responsibility of guns. All right, so I think we went over, man. We went way over.
You always do. It's him, y'all. It's not me. It's him.
It's me.
It is.
No. All right, so
shout out to my brother, by the way, because this whole segment I've been thinking about him. He has 1,000,001 guns. He's a gun owner legally, and he loves his guns.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. He go to the gun range?
Yes.
That's what's up, man. I'm telling you, as soon as I leave New York and I end up down south, I'm having all that. I'm going to the gun range, get my guns, because New York here is crazy. I'm on both ways. New York is crazy and they not crazy. But yeah, man, I'm going to have my gun, my shotty, all that. So big up to your brother.
Yeah.
Man. Get up to him, man. He ain't clapping. Yeah, man. So we gonna get up out here. Another show we done completed. Love all the artists that were on it.
Yes, amazing.
Amazing. Go to Zana the Brave. Where do they go to get Zana the Brave?
www.zanathebrave.com.
That's what's up. Get your book. Go to Lyfeblood.com. You see what we're talking about as far as all different types of applications. Be a member, be a lifer, join, build your network. Group economics is what we're talking about. Independency. Stop expecting it to come from other people. Leaning on them. Do it yourself. The power is in you. The power is always with you. You can make it happen. Be a lifer. All right, folks. We out of here. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.
We out.